Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit. Today I'm going to be smoking 2 racks of baby back pork ribs on my new red box smoker, which is a double-walled, insulated, reverse flow competition grade cabinet style smoker. Let's get it out of the box and see what we have. I was told it was easier to open it from the bottom of the box, so that's what I'm going to do. So you open up the bottom of the box and slide it over the smoker, and it's as easy as that. It's definitely very well packed and fully assembled. All we had to do was unwrap everything. It comes with a stainless steel water pan, charcoal grate, and 3 cooking grates. It has heavy-duty chrome door locks and hinges for both the cooking chamber and the charcoal chamber. There's also 2 handles on the side that you can carry the smoker around with or use as tie downs during transportation. Speaking of carrying around, don't let the size of the RBS deceive you. This smoker is built like an anvil, but it's not really as heavy as an anvil. Close, but not quite. You control your temperature by sliding the vent on the bottom of the charcoal pan, and the exhaust is on the rear of the smoker. And there's also a built-in thermometer. So let's get the red box smoker fired up and get some ribs going. But a quick story first. I never ever read directions, and with this smoker, it was no exception. After all, I know everything already. Well, people like me who think they know everything sometimes make themselves feel stupid. Like me, the first time I fired up the red box smoker. So the first time I lit the smoker, I dumped in the charcoal right into the charcoal pan without thinking it should have a source of airflow underneath. So to make a long story short, I had another box of stuff not opened that had the charcoal grate in it that was supposed to be put on the bottom of the pan before the charcoal went in the pan. So I did the initial burn without properly setting up the smoker. However, even though I did it wrong, the red box smoker still got up to temperature with no problem and held steady temperatures without an issue. So for this cook, I did it the right way. I put the charcoal grate in the pan and then added the charcoal. This smoker doesn't use a whole lot of charcoal at all. 3 to 5 pounds of charcoal is all you need. After adding the charcoal, I added 2 small chunks of apple wood, then lit the center of the charcoal with my hose torch. Or if you prefer to add lit coals from a charcoal chimney, or some other way to light your charcoal, do what works best for you. This is what works best for me. Once the charcoal is lit, slide the charcoal pan back in the smoker, and leave the door open for about 10 minutes or so. While the fire is growing, add water to the water pan. In future upcoming cooks, I'm going to use sand in the water pan in place of the water like I do on my WSMs. Now close up the cooker and leave the bottom vent open 100% until the temperatures reach 200 degrees. Once they reach 200 degrees, shut the bottom vent down 75% and it'll settle in at 250 degrees in about 15 to 20 minutes. This is the way I've done about 5 or 6 cooks on the smoker already, and that method for me works like a charm every time. While the smoker was coming up to temperature, it was time to get the ribs ready. I had 2 full racks of pork loin back ribs or baby back ribs, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, due to the size of the smoker, they needed to be cut in half. Courtney had the meat rubbing duty and very liberally seasoned the ribs with Lambert's sweet rub of mine. And this rub is fantastic right out of the bottle. I was just hoping it held its flavor after it was cooked, which some rubs don't. They taste great out of the bottle, and then once your food's cooked, it doesn't even taste like you seasoned your food. Once the meat side is liberally seasoned, flip the ribs over and season the membrane side. And I like to leave the membrane on for 2 reasons. Number 1, I think it helps retain moisture in the ribs. Number 2, I love the crispy chewy texture the membrane gets when the ribs are done. But like I said before, that's a personal preference. So if you like it, leave it on. If you don't like it, take it off. Once both sides of the ribs have been seasoned, flip them back over and sprinkle just a little bit more rub on the meat side. Now you can put these directly onto the smoker, which is what I'm going to do today, or you can do what I normally do and put them in the fridge for at least an hour or overnight. So into the smoker the ribs went. 1 rack on top and 1 in the middle. Another rack could have gone on the bottom, so 3 racks of baby back ribs would have fit. Now close the door and let the ribs smoke at 250 degrees for 4.5 to 5 hours. After 2 hours, the ribs were coming along nicely. But unfortunately, after 4 hours into the cook, the skies opened up with visions of the movie Twister in my backyard. Oh, Helen Hunt in my backyard? There I was, daydreaming about night things in the middle of the afternoon. Anyways, I wasn't risking my camera being swept away like Dorothy. So instead of risking the camera, we risked our lives and limbs for you, the people, so you didn't have to. And we went out and finished the ribs off with some sweet sauce of mine barbecue sauce, and then let the ribs cook for another 30 minutes until the sauce set. After smoking for 4.5 hours at 250 degrees, our baby back ribs were done. And I've got to say, they look and smell pretty darn good. Now if they taste half as good as they look, we're onto something here. There was only one thing left to do. Give them a try. The meat was about as moist and tender as you're going to get without them completely falling off the bone. The combination of the sweet rub of mine and the sweet sauce of mine was a perfect sweet heat flavor bomb for these ribs. The meat had a clean bite through, they were moist, they were tender, they were smoky, and most of all, they were absolutely delicious. These ribs didn't last long at all, and in my house we're not even huge rib fans. I just like cooking ribs. So far, the Redbox Smoker has performed flawlessly for this cook and for the handful of other cooks I've done so far on it, which one of those cooks was an overnight pork butt, which ran through the night with no problem, with just a little bit more charcoal than I used in this cook, for the whole 10-hour cook. So as long as you're not cooking for a lot of people, or if you have limited space, or need a smoker for camping, tailgating, etc., you might want to check out the Redbox Smoker. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you give these ribs a try. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.